Be prepared, because tomorrow may appear to be just another ordinary day, but beneath the surface it could turn out to be the most pivotal day of the entire month. The cost of overlooking it is far greater than it seems. August 14th is not a day of disaster. It's the midpoint of a subtle but powerful energetic shift, the tipping point where the balance sways and chosen ones either solidify their path or allow it to slip away. We're still carrying the influence of the last moon's pull, and every interaction tomorrow will carry weight. A single careless decision could ripple through your life for weeks. This is a rare energetic window, one that could set powerful motion into play, and it might all hinge on the person who can actually sense it. That person could be you. What may seem like an insignificant personal choice tomorrow will become the new standard for your entire energetic field. For chosen ones, August 14th is not a day to sit back and wait to see what unfolds. It's the moment to write the very code that reality will follow for you until the next cycle begins tomorrow. Energy isn't just something that happens to you. You become the anchor, the pivot, the calibration point. If you allow chaos to take root within you, reality will interpret it as an invitation to deliver more of the same. But if you hold steady in integrity, everything around you will begin to reshape in harmony with that energy. Every word you speak, every seemingly small choice, every emotion you allow to settle inside you will be recorded as the new normal for your field. This is not the universe testing you, it's the universe mirroring you. Whatever you project tomorrow will shape the reality you'll live in for the weeks ahead. The greatest threat to your next level is comfort disguised as alignment. One of the most dangerous traps for chosen ones on August 14th will be mistaking stillness for peace. It's easy to convince yourself you're in flow when in truth you might be stuck in spiritual paralysis. Tomorrow will carry a strange, deceptive undertone, one that whispers, it's fine to slow down, wait things out and coast. But that quiet isn't a blessing, it's bait. This is not the kind of pause that replenishes your spirit. It's the kind that gently pulls you out of alignment with your mission. Many will believe they're resting when in reality they're stepping away from the very momentum that was on the verge of carrying them to their next breakthrough. The energy of August 14th has a way of disguising stagnation as clarity, of wrapping hesitation in the warm comfort of divine timing, when in truth it's the exact wrong moment to stop. Some of the most profound breakthroughs are lost in moments like this, not because someone failed outright, but because they hesitated in a window designed for forward motion. If you fall into that trap tomorrow, you might not realize until weeks later that the path meant for you has quietly dissolved, disappearing while you were busy aligning yourself. August 14th won't demand grand gestures or public displays. Instead, it will call you to practice privately without witnesses. It won't challenge you with chaos, drama, or confrontation. It will simply hold up a silent mirror to your beliefs, testing whether they hold weight when no one is there to applaud. This is the kind of energetic test that slips in unnoticed, disguised as nothing at all, until the moment you realize you've either passed or failed. False spirituality will crumble under this kind of pressure. Those who speak words they don't live by will feel annoying unease they can't explain. Chosen ones who've built their growth on shallow habits or ego-driven displays will watch those illusions fall away. The light you claim to carry won't be measured by how brightly you show it, but by whether it can burn steady through the quiet, unseen moments of scrutiny August 14th will bring. This isn't about being exposed to others, it's about being exposed to yourself, about seeing the space between who you say you are and who you truly are when the room is empty. Not everyone who listens is safe, especially tomorrow. August 14th carries a charged undercurrent that draws in certain people and energies, not to support you, but to feed on you. These aren't always the obvious manipulators or the blatant energy drainers. Sometimes they arrive as the empathetic listener, the one who nods softly while you open up, yet beneath the surface, they're siphoning strength from your words, emotions, and vulnerability. You might feel a stronger than usual urge to talk tomorrow, to share your thoughts, victories, doubts, or even frustrations. That's no accident. This particular energetic alignment has a way of magnifying inner tension until it feels impossible to keep it in. But the moment you release it, that energy doesn't vanish, it lands somewhere. It's absorbed, and not everyone who catches it will treat it with care. The more personal and unfiltered your words, the more potent they become to someone who knows, consciously or unconsciously, how to feed on them. These spiritual parasites may not even realize what they're doing. Some will echo your exact phrases back to you days later, but altered in a way that feels off. Others may suddenly start reflecting your mannerisms, wearing your expressions, or repeating your insights as if they were their own. They've taken something from you and made it theirs. Tomorrow is not the day to process your emotions with anyone whose spiritual integrity hasn't been proven over time. It's a day to guard certain truths in silence, to let your inner work happen without an audience. Every word you speak is a current, and on August 14th, those currents are powerful enough to be stolen. Once they're taken, they can't be called back. On most days, regret feels like a weight, a penalty for doing something wrong. But on August 14th, regret will operate differently. It won't just be about looking back at the past. It will be a signal about the present, a kind of echo from the future trying to warn you before real damage takes hold. This warning could arrive as a sudden pang right after a conversation, a quiet inner voice after you've agreed to something, or even a heavy feeling in your body after making a choice you thought was harmless. You might pause and think, "That's odd, I don't usually react this way." That strangeness is exactly the point. On August 14th, regret isn't punishment, it's a message from the version of you who already knows where that path leads. If you dismiss it as overthinking, you risk losing the chance to correct your course before it locks into place. If you lean into that feeling and explore why it's there, you'll discover it's pointing directly at something you need to adjust, release, or walk away from. The energy of August 14th comes with a heightened sensitivity to cause and effect. The gap between your action and its ripple will be shorter than usual. Every decision you make will be tested instantly against the blueprint of the life you're building. Regret, in this context, is your early warning system, an alert that something you just did doesn't match that blueprint. If you ignore it, you'll still get the lesson, but it may arrive later and hit much harder. So when regret shows up, treat it like a rare gift. Stop, look closely at what triggered it. Ask yourself, who truly benefits from this choice, and is it really me? The wrong move tomorrow won't necessarily be noticed by the world, but it will be seen by the realm that matters. There won't be trumpets, lightning strikes, or dramatic signs announcing that you're being evaluated. The assessment will be silent yet exact. A scan, a reading of your current energy, measuring how closely it aligns with the path you've claimed to walk. This isn't judgment in the human sense. No one will punish you, but your guides, protectors, higher self, and unseen forces are observing how you carry yourself when you believe no one is keeping track. They'll notice the way you respond to small inconveniences, the thoughts you entertain when you're alone, the moment you choose between self-discipline and self-indulgence. On this day, those micro-decisions will speak volumes in the spiritual realm. August 14th isn't about testing your strength, it's about reading your readiness. If you've been calling in higher opportunities, larger platforms, or deeper spiritual assignments, this is the quiet proving ground where you show you're prepared to handle them. It's not a day for fear or paranoia, but for deep awareness. A slip in integrity tomorrow might not cause an immediate collapse, but it could delay the very thing you've been working toward. The realm that matters won't place something in your hands that you're not actively ready to carry. The danger lies in treating it like it's just another day. Tomorrow's energy will be deceptively subtle, so quiet, so unassuming, that it might trick you into thinking nothing important is happening. Yet beneath that still surface, something is already in motion, weaving itself into the very fabric of your path. Every moment tomorrow will serve as an invisible crossroad, a point where you can either reinforce your alignment or drift quietly away from it without even realizing. The danger is that those who drift won't notice until much later, when the door they've been praying for has closed so softly it didn't even make a sound. Those who are tuned in, however, will catch the signal before the wave ever breaks. They'll rise in awareness long before others sense a change. Most people miss the moments that matter, not because the signs are hidden, but because they are quiet. We've been conditioned to think that spiritual shifts come dressed in drama, loud collapses, sudden breakthroughs, cosmic fireworks that leave no doubt something extraordinary has happened. But real power rarely moves that way. Tomorrow will not arrive with an explosion. Instead, it will whisper that the shift has already begun. The change won't wait for your permission. It's already unfolding in real time. If you are spiritually sensitive, you'll feel it as a faint vibration beneath your skin, a barely there recalibration in the air. It won't be a dramatic portal or a looming attack, just a subtle tilt, a steady pressure, a quiet signal pulsing beneath the surface. That's what makes August 14th so critical. This day isn't here to impress you, it's here to measure you. It won't hand you clarity through obvious signs or tangible evidence. It offers clarity through presence. If you're truly in tune with yourself, you'll notice the field rearranging itself around you. You'll feel the current shift direction almost imperceptibly. You'll sense that invisible moment when timelines begin to split, when one choice sends you forward and another leaves you behind. Most people will never notice this subtle point of divergence, but chosen ones will, because chosen ones aren't trained to chase the obvious. They're fluent in the language of silence. They feel movement in the pause, sense truth before it's ever spoken, and recognize shifts that others mistake for stillness. Tomorrow speaks in that sacred language. It's not an announcement, it's a response to those who are already listening. And what makes this day so rare is that it will not pressure you to act. There's no demand for performance, no urgency to prove yourself. Instead, it's quietly watching your positioning, not the posture you display outwardly, but the alignment you hold inwardly. The question isn't, will you move? It's, will you remain in tune when nothing is pushing, pulling, or validating you? This is where the line between awareness and unconsciousness becomes razor thin. Many will unknowingly step over it, mistaking stillness for safety, silence for emptiness, and calm for irrelevance. But those who truly understand will feel the energy begin to crystallize around them, like standing in the eye of a storm that hasn't yet touched the ground. It's not chaos, it's configuration. And that's where August 14th holds its greatest power, not because something destructive is approaching, but because something precise, something deeply important is being recorded. And on the surface, it may not look like change at all, yet it will quietly decide what comes next. It is change, real, measurable, and alive, yet so quiet, so understated, that it will slip past the awareness of those who can only recognize movement when it arrives with fireworks and fanfare. Most people need noise to feel awake. They need disruption to feel something is shifting. But for the chosen ones, for those who live attuned to the fine edge of intuition, this is the kind of day that will stand out like a whisper in a silent room. They will feel it, not in obvious ways, but in the subtle tremors beneath their reality. It will be the spiritual equivalent of a tectonic plate adjusting under their feet, a small, almost imperceptible shift that will change the structure of the landscape over time. This is where the true danger lies, not in catastrophe, not in obvious failure, but in spiritual misalignment, cleverly disguised as business as usual. This is the trap of days like this. You think nothing is happening because nothing loud is happening, but the truth is, everything is happening. And if you don't treat it with deep intention, the day will treat you like you are background static in a much bigger signal. It will pass you by, and you won't even realize until the opportunity has dissolved into nothing. This is an invitation, maybe the most subtle one you'll get all month, to tune in at a higher frequency, not because something explosive is about to occur, but because something exact, something razor-sharp and precise is forming in the unseen, and it is quietly scanning the room to see who is awake enough to match it. Tomorrow is not the wave, it is the signal before the wave. When the wave comes, and it will, you will either already be perfectly positioned, ready to ride it without resistance, or you'll be scrambling, realizing you missed the pivot point and are now being swept somewhere you didn't intend to go. By then, the current will be moving with or without your consent, and repositioning will cost you more than you want to pay. And here's the most revealing part: the energy you wake up in tomorrow morning will not be random. It will be the clearest, rawest reflection of what you've been carrying in your spirit without realizing it. Tomorrow won't politely wait for you to prepare. It won't let you hide behind a cup of coffee, a forced smile, or your daily distraction routine. The curtain will be pulled back before you even set your feet on the floor, and what stands there will be the truth of your current vibration. That very first feeling you have when you open your eyes, whether it's deep peace, lightness, excitement, unease, anxiety, heaviness, or emptiness, is not just a passing mood. It's the most accurate reading of your soul's current state. It's not layered with all the mental editing, the reframing, or the emotional shields you use to manage your image throughout the day. That first emotion is raw truth, pure and unfiltered. And here's the part so many miss. It's not only revealing where you are right now, but also giving you a snapshot of where you're heading if nothing changes. Think about it. The moment you wake, your mind hasn't yet begun its usual chatter. You haven't put on the mask for the world. You haven't constructed the performance of being fine or happy or in control. That's why tomorrow's first emotion is so important. It's the headline of the chapter you're living in, written in a language your soul understands, even if your mind tries to deny it. If it's joy, treat it as confirmation you're aligned. Don't just acknowledge it, amplify it, sit with it, anchor yourself in it before the day has a chance to chip away at its strength. If it's dread, resist the temptation to bury it under noise or activity. Instead, trace it back to its source. Is there a conversation you've been avoiding, a responsibility you've been pushing aside, a truth you've been unwilling to face? If it's restlessness, what's it telling you about the part of your life that's ready for movement? And if it's numbness, don't dismiss it as nothing. Numbness is a signal that your spirit has been idling too long, that you've been running on autopilot, and your inner fire has been cooling quietly in the background. Understand, this first emotional spark is not the whole story, but it is the opening line. It sets the tone for the pages that follow. If you can meet it with awareness, it becomes a guide. If you ignore it, it becomes a current that pulls you along unconsciously. Tomorrow's energy will not shout at you. It will watch you. It will measure your presence, your positioning, your ability to remain aligned even when nothing external is demanding anything from you. And the ones who pass this silent check-in won't be those who made the loudest moves, but those who stayed awake when the world told them they could go back to sleep. Because on a day like this, the most dangerous thing you can do is treat it like just another day. Tomorrow, most people will miss this sign without even realizing it. They'll roll out of bed in the same half-asleep haze they always do, instinctively reach for their phone before their feet hit the floor, and flood their mind with other people's words, images and noise. That sacred, unfiltered feeling, the one that exists in the tiny space between dreaming and full wakefulness, will be gone before they even notice it was there. They'll smother it under headlines, notifications, text messages, and the mental checklist of the day ahead. Within minutes, their truest state of being will be buried beneath layers of distraction, and they'll carry on thinking the day began normally. But if you're a chosen one, you don't have that luxury. You don't get to casually ignore the most honest data your soul gives you. That first feeling you wake up with is not random. It's your unguarded self speaking in its clearest voice. It's the raw feed from your deeper truth, an uncensored download from the part of you that sees the path ahead without illusions. And here's why tomorrow matters even more. August 14th isn't just another day where emotions come and go. The emotion you wake up in will have an unusual stickiness to it, a magnetic pull that wants to imprint itself on your energy field. If you don't stop to catch it, name it, and decide what to do with it, it will quietly set the tone for the rest of your day. And that tone will echo far beyond the next 24 hours. On most mornings, your first emotion might shift quickly as you move through your routine, but on August 14th, it has the power to spill over into the coming weeks, shaping the way your aura feels to others, influencing your decisions, and coloring how opportunities meet you. This is why tomorrow demands awareness from the moment you open your eyes, before you speak to anyone, before you check a single notification, before you even let your thoughts wander into planning the day. Pause. That pause is your moment of power. Name the first emotion you feel. Don't judge it. Just recognize it. Then ask yourself, is this the seed I want to water, or is this one I need to transform before it takes root? Because the instant you wake, the energy you're in is already broadcasting, and every broadcast has a message. Whether you realize it or not, you're sending out an energetic signal that the world will respond to. The question is, are you okay with the message it's sending? On August 14th, that emotional echo becomes your spiritual scent, and scents linger. If you allow it to turn sour, it will quietly rot, seeping into everything you touch without you realizing where the heaviness came from. Every emotion is more than just a mood, it's a transmission. It leaks out of you like light through a window or fragrance through the air. Most days that signal shifts as you encounter new experiences, passing moods, or changing environments. But tomorrow is different. On this day, the emotion you keep returning to, the one you replay in your head or feel in your body over and over, will leave a mark. It will set like dye on fabric, staining your field in a way that doesn't wash out easily. Picture your aura as a cloth. Tomorrow's repeated emotions are the dye that colors it. Every repetition deepens the shade. If you let boredom linger, you won't just feel bored, you'll wear boredom, and it will tint every interaction. If sarcasm or cynicism becomes your default, you won't just make cutting jokes, you'll steep in that frequency until it becomes your baseline energy. And if fear plays in the background, even in subtle disguised ways, it will be like hanging a silent sign, inviting in situations and people that feed and confirm that fear. The trick is that none of this will feel dramatic in the moment. You won't feel an obvious shift when it happens. It will feel so ordinary that you won't see the moment you went from consciously living to unconsciously marinating in a frequency. That's why days like August 14th are so dangerous. They don't announce themselves as pivotal. They feel like any other day until you look back and realize it was the day your energy quietly took a new direction. For most people, this will pass unnoticed. But chosen ones, those who know how to listen for what the world doesn't say, will feel the difference. They'll sense that tomorrow's energy is a mirror, showing them whether they are truly in alignment or quietly drifting away from it. They'll know that the first emotion of the day is not just a mood. It's a seed of light. It must be nourished, so it grows into more light. If it's a seed of shadow, it must be alchemized before it roots itself and becomes harder to pull out. Tomorrow is not about fear or paranoia, it's about mastery. It's about choosing with full awareness the frequency you want to carry forward, knowing that on this day, your choice will echo far longer than usual, and when you open your eyes in the morning, that choice will already be waiting for you. The only question is whether you'll be awake enough to make it. You won't get a cosmic siren screaming in your ears to warn you. There won't be a booming voice from the sky announcing stop. This is the moment that will shape your path for the weeks ahead. You won't see flashing lights, feel sudden thunder, or get a jolt of lightning to make you pay attention. Instead, it will be quiet, almost invisible. You'll likely brush it off with a casual thought, "I'm just in a mood," and carry on as if it's nothing. But that mood will be tomorrow's ink. And without even realizing it, you'll be writing the first lines of your next chapter with it. Every step you take, every word you speak, every decision you make will be dipped in that emotional color, whether you like it or not. The universe doesn't make its judgments based on the biggest or most dramatic things you do. It isn't watching for fireworks or chaos to decide who you are becoming. What it's really scanning for is consistency. It's looking for the patterns in your energy, the tones you repeat, the emotions you return to, the frequencies you nurture when no one's looking. That's what it uses to decide what matches your field and what doesn't. And on August 14th, those patterns will lock into place with unusual speed. This means tomorrow is not just another day, it's a calibration point. The energy you hold, repeat, and allow to stay will quietly set the tone for what meets you next. This isn't about forcing yourself to be fake, happy, or positive at all costs. That's just spiritual plastic wrap, shiny on the outside but suffocating and lifeless underneath. It's not about pretending you don't feel what you feel. It's about keeping energy in motion. Energy is meant to move, to shift, to grow. It becomes toxic when it stagnates. If you wake up with joy, don't just sit in it until it fades. Let it ripple outward into gratitude, into inspiration, into connection with others, into meaningful action. Build on it. If you wake up frustrated, don't stew in it until it poisons your mood. Channel it into problem-solving, creative solutions, or deeper self-reflection so you understand its source. If you wake up uncertain or uneasy, explore it. Let curiosity dissolve the fog instead of letting it thicken. Repetition without transformation is where the trap lies. On most days, a repeated emotion might fade as life distracts you, but tomorrow will be different. On August 14th, whatever emotion you repeat, whether it's joy, irritation, boredom, or fear, will not just linger for the day. It will imprint on your field like dye soaking into fabric. It won't just color your mood. It will color your aura, your presence, your spiritual frequency. That frequency will act like a beacon, drawing in more of its own kind. If it's joy, you'll call in more joy. If it's fear, you'll attract more reasons to fear. If it's cynicism, you'll find yourself surrounded by cynical energy until it feels normal. Think of your inner world tomorrow as a house and your emotions as guests. You can open the door and let them in, you should, because every feeling has a purpose. But don't let any single one unpack their bags, move into the spare bedroom, and redecorate the place to match their mood. Keep your inner space alive, intentional, and shifting. You are the host here, not the hostage. If you let an unhelpful guest take over, they'll invite more of their friends, and before you know it, your whole house will smell like their energy. And here's the deeper truth. August 14th is the day your spiritual scent gets bottled. That's not poetic fluff, it's an energetic reality. The emotional tone you hold tomorrow will be captured and stored in your field, and it will be what the world smells on you for the weeks ahead. You can't mask it with fake smiles, busyness, or forced positivity, because energy speaks louder than appearances. People will respond to it, opportunities will align or avoid you because of it, and situations will rise to match it. You are not here to tiptoe through the day avoiding traps. You are here to walk through it, like the architect of your own frequency. This day is not your enemy. It's not a minefield waiting to trip you up. It's an arena where you get to practice mastery, where you prove that you are not at the mercy of unconscious emotional repetition. You're here to shape your energy so deliberately that it dominates the terrain around you. Tomorrow is not testing you to see if you can avoid slipping. It's inviting you to choose the ink you will write with. And remember, once you start writing, that chapter will carry the tone you set long after the day is gone. The masterpiece of your next season begins the moment you open your eyes in the morning, before you've even spoken a word. The only question is, will you be aware enough to choose the color? It's a finely tuned arena, subtle, precise, and charged with an energy that only the aware will notice. If you understand how to move within it, you can walk away not just unchanged but sharpened, strengthened, and more aligned than you were the day before. Most people will miss that entirely. They'll treat tomorrow like any other date on the calendar, floating through it without focus. They'll wake up and let their first thoughts be wasted on autopilot, scrolling, reacting, following impulses that have no real direction. Their first actions will be dictated by habit rather than intention. But chosen ones, you are not designed for that kind of passive existence. You are not placed here to drift. Tomorrow's quiet chaos, the subtle undercurrent that most will ignore, is your personal training ground. This is not a day meant to test how well you can hide from challenges or sidestep discomfort. It's a day built to measure how decisively you can stand in your authority when subtle challenges, temptations, and whispers of distraction try to pull you off course. The stillness that will confuse others, the strange calm that makes them restless, will be your greatest weapon if you choose to wield it. It will be the space in which your clarity sharpens and your choices become weapons of precision. Tomorrow will not decide your future. You will by the way you stand in it. This is the kind of day that rewards those who are surgical with their energy. Every choice you make will matter more than it appears. This is the time to say no without guilt, to cut ties cleanly with habits, patterns, distractions, and energies that water down your strength. It's the moment to recognize the subtle but crucial difference between what feels comfortable and what actually moves you forward, and to choose forward every single time, even if it means stepping into discomfort. Your words tomorrow should be deliberate, carrying weight and intention. Your movements should be clean, purposeful, and free from wasted effort. Every yes you give should be a true, unshakable yes. Every no should be final, not a placeholder for maybe later. This is not about living rigidly, it's about living with such clarity that nothing accidental seeps into your path. You are not here to simply survive the undercurrents of the day. You are here to shape them, to take what others experience passively and bend it in your favor. Let the unaware be swept away by the tide. They won't even know where it's carrying them. You will be the one steering the current, guiding its direction with every intentional choice, every disciplined thought, every clean boundary. Approach the day with this level of clarity, and your energy will leave a resonance that lasts far beyond August 14th. You won't have to scramble when the next wave of opportunity or challenge arrives. You'll already be in position, standing exactly where you chose to be. And when that next wave rises, you won't just ride it, you'll own it. because tomorrow is the day you claimed your stance, your authority, and your direction before anyone else even realized the game had begun. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the